companies TM asphalt and seal it. I assumed they would know this stuff, but they just, when I told them what I'd done, they didn't ask, hey, can you show me? Can you please? No, they didn't. They also assured me the driveway when it cracked, and here it is right here, examples that it's still cracking. I got chunks like this breaking up still, Your Honor. They assured me if I go home right now, I can pull a chunk out about that big in one spot. And what's going to happen is underneath it is water's going to freeze, and if the whole thing's done by the end of this winter, that driveway is going to start having major issues. And I think that when they were behind schedule, they used subpar material. They rushed the job. I mean, they literally broke into my garage to park their machine to cool it down. I mean, I didn't even give them permission. They showed up 2 times.
All right, let's stop.
Yes, sir.
Do you think you're part of the problem? You're so
No,
angry. $7,000, and you can sue for money damages only. You can't sue for a tort. Neither party is allowed to have an attorney in small claims court. This is important. There's no formal record being made in small claims court, and there's no appeal. Any decision made in small claims court is final. All right, this is a claim for $2,825.82. We get a lot of these different contractors suing on non-payment of a contract. In this particular case, the plaintiff claims that amount for services rendered and the amount unpaid. The total was $13,940. Defendant paid $11,114.38, and plaintiff contends $2,825.82 is due. Mr. Blair has a different view of things, and he filed an answer. He says,
before we even get into the legal battle, let's talk about what's really happening here. This is small claims court. No lawyers, no appeals, and whatever the judge decides today is final. On one side, we've got an asphalt company claiming they're owed nearly $3,000 for a completed driveway job. On the other side, a homeowner who says not only does he not owe that money, he believes the entire job was done with substandard materials, caused property damage, and may need to be completely redone. Now here's where it gets interesting. The defendant isn't just arguing poor workmanship. He's alleging low-grade asphalt, improper base installation, heavy equipment damage to his yard, even claiming admissions from the contractors themselves. And remember, in small claims court, there's no formal record, no attorney to step in, and no appeal. This judge has one job: sort through the noise and decide who's credible. Is this a case of unpaid labor? Or a rushed job with costly consequences? Let's get into it.
I agree to pay something, but this is not full amount. Working on getting a quote for unfixed damage. I counterclaim for $3,000 because of the damage done to my yard, harassment by Terry Mosby.
Should have been
Moyer, for just showing up at my house, causing issues. You can't really sue for that sort of thing.
He showed up unannounced after I made a formal complaint online about their poor standard of quality, and actually admitted that they were at fault. The owner.
All right, well, you're the defendant, so yes, they get to go first. I'll hear your story. Mr. Bordner, why do you believe he owes you $2,825?
I currently show the overdue balance at $2,665.21.
All right. Now, Mr. Blair, your answer is a little unclear. You said I owe some, and I'm willing to make payments, but on the other hand, then you counterclaim for $3,000.
Well, so I have a issue with the driveway itself, Your Honor. I have sinkholes developing in part of in the driveway that extend over 35 feet long and about 25 feet wide. They were not there originally. They started off as a small little hole. They have since grown and almost runs an entire length side of my driveway, which I have pictures and video of. There's several cracks. One crack in general is over 25 feet long or 22 feet long. The cracks continue to grow as the weather continues to worsen. I have cracks down the side of the driveway, which are not relevant to what Brandon's going to say. It's part of the edging, but it's not. It's actually, if you look at the driveway, it's cracking. I've got samples from where my driveway is cracking, which he assured me would never do, and it's cracking here. I also have both of them. I recorded both of them on my property where they both admit that they could have easily fixed this, but they decided not to. Brandon and Mr. and Terry said that it's an easy fix with heat and a hammer, and they never even bothered to bring either when they showed up at my house the second time. I have to get estimates, but right now, small ballpark, they parked their heavy equipment along the side of my driveway, and it left 2 deep trenches, which also resulted in damaging the deck of my mower, which now I need a quote on that. They used part of my driveway. They used part of my, I had seed and I had mulch, and I had some peat moss. They used that as support for the driveway. Even right in that same spot, I have a tiny sinkhole developing there. It's probably about 5 feet long. The damages overall, Your Honor, I have not been able to get an estimate. So, but I think that with everything going on, I think it's easy to say that I also filed up with a letter, different letter. I mailed them a certified letter to which Mandy signed. I mailed them a letter, and they did sign it. I left the receipt signed.
Let's pause right here because this is crucial. Small claims court changes the entire dynamic of a case like this. There are no attorneys allowed. That means no polished legal arguments, no procedural technicalities, just direct testimony and whatever evidence the parties can present themselves. And even more important, there's no appeal. Whatever decision is made today is final. That puts enormous pressure on both sides to present their strongest arguments clearly and convincingly. If either side fails to explain their position properly, there's no second chance. This isn't a rehearsal, it's the final act.
In my car, it's at the shop getting repaired. But I did get a signed copy, which was I signed an official document stating that they are to fix this. They have not even addressed it or even acknowledged it, but they did just admit to cashing the check because the check was sent with the letter.
Now, which check is that?
The $200 I just sent them. And I mean, overall, they promised good, high quality asphalt, 36A asphalt. Through my investigation and my online, some of my research and looking up different cases and everything going on, you can clearly see that they use subpar material and they substitute subpar material. And as I walk out my steps, you can see that the asphalt's pulling apart and it's just turning into nothing but stone. Hot asphalt mix is not supposed to look like it's a stone or reptilian skin. And most of my driveway looks like that. Where the sinkholes are, that's about 35 feet long. That entire section looks like it's done with poor material. The causes of the sinkhole is a result of poor base setting, quickly setting the asphalt layers where they were quick to do it, and then on top of it, some material. I'm not going to pay for subpar material until I have a quote. Best case scenario, that whole section has to get tore up just to get fixed, because they have to strip it all the way down to the base layer to fix it.
All right, they're not here. You're here. You've got a laptop.
They're right. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they're there, but if I'm to look at your pictures, it's going to be hard for them to see them.
Yeah, I didn't know.
All right, well, there is a way to tie into that where we could share the pictures, but I'm not sure. Let's see what you got, what you want me to see.
So this is my asphalt. You can see here that this is not what high grade asphalt is supposed to look like. You can see how if you want, I could pull up the original. We can zoom in if you want, Your Honor. But you can see how this is all scaling. That is poor grade asphalt. That means they're using, this is
emotional intensity starts rising. The defendant isn't just nitpicking minor cosmetic issues. He's describing 35-foot sinkholes, 25-foot cracks, scaling asphalt, freezing damage, and even structural concerns about the base layer. He's painting a picture of a driveway that's not just imperfect, but potentially failing. The key issue here is credibility. Are these normal settling imperfections? Or signs of substandard installation? Because if those sinkholes are truly developing and expanding, that shifts this case from minor dispute to serious workmanship defect. And in small claims court, visual evidence can make or
This is them using recycled asphalt instead of high-grade asphalt, which is what's in the contract with 36A. We never agreed upon that.
All right, are you an expert in asphalt?
No, Your Honor, but if they would like to testify under oath what they used, so they can demonstrate through quality controls or anything they've done.
All right, well, they can't see your pictures, and I don't know if I can get my camera over there.
I can move it closer if
No,
whatever you prefer, Your Honor.
right now it's not even facing the right direction. It's on, let's see here.
I have long arms, Your Honor.
Well, they can't see that, but
Whatever you need to do,
it's
sir.
on this camera right here. So let's see.
I'll bring it closer.
All right, go ahead. Okay, just show me what you want to show me.
Okay, so you got the low-grade quality asphalt. I go, here's the cracking. This is just a small example of the cracking. Same cracking. Down in here, this is actual video, but underneath all of this, it's so brittle, it's falling apart, which is part of that example. And what's happening is the seams on the asphalt, Your Honor, are breaking apart. And then underneath here, water can get in. It's going to basically eventually separate, and all this these sections are going to fall apart. I mean, right now we've got freezing going on. So the water's going to get in underneath all of this asphalt, and it's going to pop it up, and eventually it's going to destroy within a year or two, these sections are going to be completely gone because there's no base. It's all just up like this. Water can get in, and now it's just eventually when it freezes, it's going to lift and it's going to start cracking across the driveway. Actually, if you want, I'll turn.
No, just show me the rest of the pictures.
Here's more examples how it's just brittle, falling apart, more uneven surfaces.
by the defendant. He's accusing the company of using recycled or subgrade asphalt instead of the contracted 36A material. That's not a small allegation. That's questioning the integrity of the entire job. But here's the problem. He openly admits he's not an expert. In court, opinions without credentials carry limited weight. The judge is likely asking himself right now, is this homeowner speaking from evidence or from frustration? Because alleging inferior materials requires proof, not just online research or surface observations. This moment is critical. If he can't substantiate this claim, it could weaken his overall argument.
Right here is one example of the sinkhole, Your Honor. That's just one section. That's after a recent rainfall.
Back up.
Yes, sir. Right here.
So what am I looking at?
This is just one of the. This is
a mud puddle on top of it.
No, this is a sinkhole. Oops. This is a sinkhole from them with they did this entire section wrong. You can see how the sinkhole is starting to develop because of it, and that's just one section. You can see here that entire section is nothing but a sinkhole, and it runs all the way down that. And that's the result of them not doing this correctly at all. Their whole base layer is wrong.
So looks like a big puddle. So it's a low point that's full of water?
Yeah, and it's not even. And eventually what's happening now is all this is freezing and it's turning into nothing but one big ice rink. Well, this is an example of poor quality because it started out, Your Honor, if I may go back. It started off almost that size, but it started off that size over here. And now it just keeps growing. And I have more, but you can clearly see how that's just a depression right there. That's an example of poor quality. And then here, if you keep, when it goes further, you see all that? That is because they did this entire job in a hasty manner with substandard material, and they did it in a fast, because they're behind schedule because of the rain we had throughout July and August. They were so far behind schedule. Brandon can attest to, if he wants to admit under oath, they were working from basically sun up to sundown and on Saturdays because they get caught back up. More.
All right, do you have any more pictures?
Yeah, this is the latest. You can see, look how much freezing that is. They're supposed to have measurements, but you can see all of that is all frozen because of the sinkholes and depression from poor material. So you can see, this is another video of how big this depression is. This is not what a driveway is supposed to look like. It's not supposed to sink in on itself. May I move on?
Yes.
Okay. And you can see here again, you can see how it clearly runs all the way down and all the way over. So it's not even draining, it's just flooding. And this entire section is scaling and coming apart. Everything in here is scaling and coming apart. We don't need that. This might be. So you got more, this is more pictures, more video. I'll start moving my stuff. Underneath all this, Your Honor, is it's cracking, and eventually my camera angle is horrible. But underneath all of this, all the way down, there's more cracking, more cracking, more cracking, more cracking, more cracking. And I'll go on. I have an actual video of all of it. Something here. So right here, as you come out, oh, this is Terry. If you want to watch the video of Terry coming out of my house, but this is.
No, I just want to see the pictures of that.
So that's it. I have a video. I think I have a video on my phone, Your Honor. If you want, I can play that video showing you how long the measurement is. And I have a video of it being over at 22 feet. If you'd like to see that.
No, just.
And I will testify under oath that it is over 22 feet.
All right, thank you. You can take your.
Thank you, Your Honor. And for the record, I was unsure that this would never happen by Brandon himself when he came out that this driveway. I have more chunks that I haven't even brought.
They're on the edges?
All over the place, Your Honor. It's not just the edges. The end of my driveway, when I was leaf blowing it, it's starting to peel up because of how poor the quality is on one side. When I was leaf blowing it, it started bringing up chunks.
Notice the technical struggle here. The defendant is trying to show evidence from a laptop, but the contractors can't clearly see the images. That matters. Evidence must be visible and understandable to both the court and to the opposing party. When demonstrations become awkward or unclear, it can unintentionally undermine credibility. The judge's repeated questions, "What am I looking at?" are subtle but important. If the judge cannot immediately understand the defect being shown, that confusion works against the person presenting it. Clear visuals equals stronger arguments. Confusion equals doubt.
All right, gentlemen, that's quite a lot to unpack. Those videos were probably very difficult for you to see, but it does appear there's substantial low points in the driveway. He showed cracking and breaking along the edges, and he claims there are chunks. What's your response?
Okay. We can go through all of this, and I have an itinerary or list of dates and times that we've talked to him, and some of these complaints we have never heard of. So to go through some of the stuff, on July 17th is when the driveway was first paved. On July 25th, we invoiced Travis for the full amount. On July 25th, he wrote.
All right, now what was the full amount?
The $13,860 was the original amount.
That was the original quote?
The original quote and the invoiced amount, yes, sir.
All right.
He wrote a check to us on that date, July 25th, for $10,000.01. On the 28th of July, we returned Travis's phone call about paying the rest of his bill. Travis was not happy. He wanted to pay the rest by credit card and was going to pay the full amount, but he was not happy about the 4% fee. So he decided not to pay the remainder on the credit card. On July 28th, later on in the day, Terry went out to look at the property due to the complaints that he presented to us during the phone call. Terry then offered to fix the driveway because they were just the edge cracking. And truly, all that does take is a short amount of time, an asphalt porch, and a little tamp to compact it. He refused and said that he was not going to let a crippled elderly man do the repairs, which is when he had the video of Terry sitting on the scooter. On July 25th, he made a Google review with that same video. Or 28th, sorry, I apologize. July 28th, he made the Google review. On July 29th, tried to leave a voicemail twice. One at 12:57. He called back at 4:03. Travis stated that he no longer was paying the bill in full because the driveway was cracking on the edges. And he stated numerous times that he was not going to let an elderly man fix it. On August 4th, we received a check for $112.21. On August 5th, we received a check for $2.72. Both of these have nice little comments on them. On August 5th, Terry texted Travis to try and come out to fix the cracking. We did find out it was an incorrect phone number at the time. We did try and make contact and thought it was, but that